Another incredible week for everybody in the cryptocurrency industry. Is anyone getting tired of waking up and saying, another all-time high? Not me. Let's jump right in and take a look at what we have in the charts here. Obviously, Bitcoin hit another all-time high. Looks like we're just under 42,000 there. Currently, Bitcoin is sitting at $41,434. What's most exciting to see about this now is obviously people doing some planning and looking at their portfolios. Anyone that was invested in the industry or looks back in the charts to January of 2018 could see the decline, can see what can happen to the crypto market. A lot of people have said if you can't handle a 90% retracement, you shouldn't be in the industry, because what happens? Panic selling, poor decisions. It's time to do some planning right now. What are you going to do with your Bitcoin, with your crypto portfolio? If we look at the run-up of Bitcoin in the last month, let's zoom out into a 4-hour window, as responsible adults or responsible investors should do. Most people don't like to do this. I love looking at 1-minute intervals. It's entertaining. When you zoom out, it looks fantastic for an investor, anyone who's invested in Bitcoin.
3, 2, 1.
Look at it go, Homer. This one's gonna go for miles.
It looks like somebody has put a green banana on my screen. It looks like an Evel Knievel jump to go over some school buses. This looks like a rocket blasting off. This looks like it's actually going to go to the moon. But in reality, it's time to make some smart decisions as investors and as professionals in the blockchain industry. So when you hear things like when moon, when Lambo, how does it make you feel when we start to achieve all-time highs like this? Let's think about being responsible individuals with our finances and our investments now in the blockchain industry. Professionals, you might say, which many are not, or many are not experts, but we can still make good decisions. Good advice from a very savvy investor, Jay-Z, and his empire of investments, music, and financial success. What did he say? Famous quote from Jay-Z. He said, if you cannot buy it twice, you can't afford it. And for most people, if you were to buy a Lamborghini or some expensive vehicle, do you even have a garage to put it in? Maybe you do, but should you be spending all of your profits, or a large portion of them, on a depreciating asset? Simple answer, no. A friend of mine said, hey, you can buy yourself a new motorbike. Yeah, I would love to do that. I would probably go out and buy myself an Indian Scout. I would love to buy a brand new one. I could go out and buy it with some crypto. Is that a smart thing to do? Why? Why would you spend your investment portfolio on a depreciating asset when you can have your investment portfolio actually generate income for you? Let's think about the mindset about how wealthy people spend their money versus how poor people spend their money. Now, not to judge people, but the mindset and the education is what allows you to make some really smart decisions, and that changes your quality of life. Not because you have money to spend on things, but because you don't have to work quite so hard if your money is working for you. But for those who do very well financially, they earn, save, invest, and then they spend. So think about that. How can you do this with your investment portfolio? Not to mention that Bitcoin being at an all-time high now, where exactly is this going to go? Some say that after 50,000 US, Bitcoin will have very little resistance and it's off to the races. Yet I disagree. I think right now we're seeing a lot of institutional investors, high net worth individuals investing into Bitcoin. Most people who are in the blockchain industry do not have a lot of liquid cash that they're sitting on to still invest in. Most people are heavily invested, but if you do have liquid available, you're waiting to buy the dip, kudos to you. That is a smart move for an investor to always have liquid available to buy when the market is low. Looking at other cryptocurrencies, Ethereum is getting very close to a new all-time high. Currently, Ethereum is sitting at $1,323 US. Look at the ramp up on this. This is wild to see how this is growing. And if we were to zoom right out, we can see that the all-time high for Bitcoin, if we jump into the weekly charts here, we can see we're getting very close to what the all-time high was. I believe we were around 1360 on the weekly charts way back at the beginning of 2018, and it looks like we may have a chance to go beyond this moving forward. Again, we also have big fans of the industry with XRP making a recovery this week. If we jump into the 2-hour window for XRP, we had some interesting comments this week from Brad Garlinghouse, which was able to give some insight as to what's happening with the SEC case. We published an article about this. Look, this is not easy to move these charts around sometimes because they move in such interesting ways. A recovery in the last few days here for XRP, where it was down as low as 23 cents, with a recovery now back up to 33 cents, which, we start to see investors who are quite comfortable with what's happening. They're waiting for it to play out. And what did Brad have to say after we published an article? The Ripple tries to settle with the SEC. One of the quotes here, which was awesome from Brad, he said here, the question was, why didn't Ripple settle with the SEC? Why wouldn't they just sort of wrap things up if possible? His answer was, can't get into specifics, but no, we tried and will continue to try with the new administration to resolve this in a way so the XRP community can continue innovating. Consumers are protected and orderly markets are preserved. So, that sort of puts things into reason as to what's happening with XRP. Everybody has to just wait. We have to just see exactly what's going to happen with this. Again, February 22nd is the pre-trial for this. Maybe something will happen before then. Maybe this will continue through to the court case. We will have to wait and see. I had a discussion today on the phone with a good friend of mine, enjoying his investments in the crypto market, and it was mind-boggling for me that he's been doing research for a long time, and I hope he doesn't mention me saying this. Obviously, I won't share his name, but making good profits in the industry. And I said, where are you keeping your cryptocurrency? Is it on an exchange? Is it on a digital wallet? Do you own your private keys? He said, what's that? And I hope this isn't a common occurrence. We bring this up time and time again, but as anyone who is new to the industry, if you do not own the private keys or have the ability to control your investments, leaving that on an exchange leaves the door open for you to not be in control and need permission to do things with your cryptocurrency, such as if the market goes into a free fall or a sell-off, or let's say the market appreciates and goes up substantially and you want to make a decision whether investing or trading, you may not be able to. Time and time again, we have seen that those who are invested with certain exchanges, when their volumes go through the roof or they start to tank, sometimes these services cannot handle the volume of what is happening on their servers trying to manage the data and the transactions. Now, if this happens and you cannot trade or control your cryptocurrency, your hands are tied. So look at your digital wallet service. Is it custodial or non-custodial? You should know this. You should have a backup seed phrase or the private keys, which would allow you to migrate your cryptocurrency from one wallet to another without anyone's permission. If you need more information about this, DM me directly on Twitter at RossMcDonald1 or go on to GokhshteinMedia.com to get more information, which is mentioned many times in one of our free magazines, which you can download. Also, don't forget to sign up for one of our newsletters and enjoy the regular content that we have coming from our expanding team. We have a few new team members joining us, which we will announce very soon this week, and we'll give you an insight as to who is working with us, what sort of content are we putting out, and how you can stay connected with our team. Well, thank you for tuning in to the Gokhshtein Weekly Wrap Up. This week, I will say free Ross, pardon Assange, pardon Snowden. Some food for thought. Visit freeross.org, and thank you again for tuning in.